All right. Hi, my name is Vincent Hagen, and today we're going to be taking a look at the pyramids of Giza in Egypt. So let's go ahead and share the screen here. Press share. Excuse me. All right, pyramids of Giza in Egypt. Here we go. So let's go in right real fast into a brief history of the pyramids. They were built around 2600 BC. They took about 20 to 26 years to build, and about 100,000 workers, mostly slaves, to build the pyramids. Today, they're known as one of the seven wonders of the world. So here's a little image, a couple images of the construction of the pyramids. You can see many of the blocks are pulled to the top through little ramps that were built along the side, or so there was some scaffolding, as you can see. I was going to point with my hand. There was some scaffolding, as you can see. There were also pulley systems as things to get hoisted to the top. So that's a bit of how they were built. Let's get into the culture. So how does construction of the pyramids fit into Egyptian culture? Well, in Egypt, in old Egypt, there was a great hierarchical system with common honorable members at the top, honorable for the time, your pharaohs, your nobles. And as you can see on this slide, we break it down for you. So you have your pharaohs at the top, your nobles at the top. You got at the bottom more of your, excuse me, don't know what happened there. Your pharaohs at the top, your nobles are at the top, and your farmers and your war captives and prisoners at the bottom. Now, the prisoners and war captives, those were the people who were building these pyramids. So, moving on, what is the true cultural significance of the pyramids? Well, they provided tombs for the pharaohs, the most supreme leaders of the old kingdom. They allowed in their idea for a smooth afterlife transition, and so that ensures the survival of the soul and the spirit of those Egyptian pharaohs within the Egyptian society. So here's a little bit of a breakdown of how things work. You know, you have your entrance of the pyramid here. The final resting place of the pharaoh or the king would be right here where your number 10 spot is. Below it, you have the resting place of the king. I'm sorry, the queen. This is what's known as the grand gallery, which is a staircase uh, to the resting place of the king. Your entrance, obviously, right here, number one. A lot of people think that there were booby traps within the pyramids. That is actually a myth. There were no booby traps, but as you can see here, I can't zoom in on the zoom, but despite the name, uh, but it was difficult to get into the tomb of these. The staircase would end here, and it would be a little bit more difficult. Here's another example of that. You can see you have the gallery that goes up, but where the actual tomb is, you have the king's tomb right here in the center, and the queen's tomb below, and then some other, smaller members of the family would be within the pyramid, as you can see in the bottom, and so there were many of the pyramids, not the great pyramids, but they were victim of tomb robbers, and they would steal most of the things that belonged to the royal family. So they wanted, when they built the great pyramids of Giza here, they wanted to make sure that they were secure enough that the tombs would not be robbed. And so they were actually successful in doing it with these pyramids here. So here's I thought I'd end with a little bit of the complex of uh, the complex of the Egyptian pyramids, because a lot of people look at the pictures that they see online or on television, they see the three pyramids, they think, oh, there must only be three. Well, you have your three pyramids here, and these are the names of the pharaohs that are buried inside of them. But there's a lot of other things that are going on. So you can see that there were other cemeteries for people who were not pharaohs, but high enough on that I guess you could say, hierarchical pyramid that would be buried within the complex. Here you have the Eastern and the Western Cemetery. The Great Sphinx is over here. You have there was a village around this whole society here that, most of it has been destroyed or eroded over the centuries and millennia that these things have existed. But this is an idea of a modern, obviously modern view of how this looked here. You have, I mean, these are modern roads here in yellow, or I'm sorry, orange, but you can really see that this was a complex society. So that's where I'll leave it off today with the pyramids of Egypt and their cultural significance. I hope you found this helpful, and thank you for watching. Here are my sources.